Hello, Hugh Turbeville here, editor of the Cricketer magazine, and my very special guest this week is Dawid Malan, one of my favourite cricketers, one of my attractive England players, batting wise, that is, not looks. Well, I'm not saying you're bad looking, but um, yeah, I followed your career closely, and I was interesting. I mean, you have played two Ashes away series now, haven't you? I obviously remember the one that you got, the Perth one. You got the 100 at Perth, but yeah. You were there last time as well, weren't you?
Yeah, it was two good trips. Enjoyed one of them. Didn't enjoy the second one as much. The first one was no COVID restrictions and was pretty good, and we still got thumped 4-0. And then we were COVID restrictions and got thumped 4-0 either way, which wasn't as enjoyable. But yeah, it was a good experience. Dream come true playing an Ashes series. To get played two of them out in Australia was obviously a dream come true. Obviously didn't get the results we wanted, but it was still good fun.
Hmm. So, just to tee it up then, so you're at home at the moment. Is that in Yorkshire or
Yeah, in Yorkshire. So in a place called Linton, just near Wetherby, sort of in between Harrogate and York. So yeah, absolutely love it up here. Been here for what 5 6 years now almost. So yeah, really enjoy it. We've made some good friends up here. We thoroughly enjoy living up here. So this is hopefully home for a long time.
that's nice, yeah. Near the race course at Wetherby.
Yeah, it's very close actually. But yeah, only been there a couple of times, but yeah, it's a lovely part of the world, and it's somewhere that we have really enjoyed living in. So yeah, hopefully after cricket and post cricket and all those type of things work out that we can still stay up this way.
Okay. Right. So before you go off, because I know you've got business to do, and you've been at Headingley this morning for a net, have you?
Yeah, I did a bit of training. I go to Nepal next week. I think end of next week. For a T20 series there. So just getting a bit of work done before that, just making sure I'm not too rusty. Seeing if the eyes still work. They get a bit slower as you get older, so just topping up on everything to make sure that I'm ready for that.
Okay. Well, let's start with that then. So it's an 8-team tournament. It's the Nepal Premier League. I'm sure some of our viewers follow it avidly. You are in the Chitwan Rhinos, are you?
I am, yes, that is my team.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
You've got Ravi Bapar in your team, haven't you?
yeah. Ravian, I think safe as well from Northampton. I think he's in the team. So two familiar faces. I think there's quite a few English players going over. A couple of I know Chris Lynn's going over. Martin Guptill, I spoke to them recently when we're in Canada. So yeah, there's a few players that have decided to go that way over the Abu Dhabi T10 and stick a bit more to T20 cricket. So yeah, it's exciting. It looked brilliant last year. Some of the videos that I saw of it last year really packed houses. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what cricket's like out there and see what the crowds are like.
Because you've been more Bangladeshi before, haven't you? Bangladesh League. You've
Yeah, I
played in.
tend to do that. I've been fortunate enough to have played in the majority of them. They're all at the same time now. I've played the South African one 2 years ago, IL T20 the year before, Big Bash, I think a year or two before that. So I've been fortunate enough, but I always seem to find my way back to Bangladesh. It's somewhere that I've played quite a lot, and the conditions suit me to some extent in the way that you can sort of build an innings slightly more out there with the sometimes they're a bit slow and turn, and you're able to sort of build an innings more than just walk out and try and swing every ball. And I quite enjoy that side of the game as well. The sort of thinking side. You've got to play a different game every time.
So you haven't been to Nepal before, but you hear good things about the food and the accommodation and things like that.
Yeah, everyone I've spoken to, obviously, before you do any tour, you sign up to anything, you speak to players that have been there before, and everyone that was there last year were extremely complimentary of it. They said the cricket was run really well, the hotels were good, organisation was good, payments were good, and as soon as you hear that from players that have been there, then you can make a decision on it. So yeah, look, it's an exciting time. I've not been there before. I'm really curious to see how it goes about it, but one of the big takeaways from everyone that I've spoken to is that you're getting 15 to 20,000 people at the stadiums every time, which is phenomenal support. I think it's only one ground they play at, so I guess it makes it easier for people to come and watch. But the atmosphere is apparently unbelievable. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Sounds good. Well, just to anybody watching, we'll come back to Ashes at the end. I'll stick with T20. So, and T10 actually. So you've just been in Vancouver.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, another T10. It's amazing. So sort of when the English season finishes, all these little tournaments pop up. You get a T10 here, and there was another one in Dallas recently as well. Not that I went to that; I did that last year. But yeah, the Canada one in Vancouver was absolutely brilliant. It was cold. I've got to admit, it felt like we were playing in the middle of winter. Yeah, luckily there was a roof on the stadium. We actually, funny enough, played. I can't remember the stadium's name, but it had the roof over it. It was a 4G artificial outfield. They sort of cut a massive strip in the middle and put a drop-in wicket in. So it was really short, straight. It was only 30 yards or 30 meters straight, or 40 meters. I can't remember what it was, but reasonably big square. But it was phenomenal how they just sort of cut a massive strip out of the middle of the ground, plonked in a drop-in wicket, which, funny enough, they couldn't get in one piece, so they had to cut it in 5 different pieces and sort of, I'd say, glue it together, but sort of wet it every night. Hopefully, the clay stuck, and then by the end of the last game, it sort of had opened up again. So it was quite a different experience, but it was actually really good cricket. It was a great place to play, somewhere I'd never been before as well. And that's the beauty of cricket. We end up playing at the moment with all the leagues that pop up. We end up going to places we've never been before, and that's incredibly exciting for us as players too.
You can see that. Yeah, it's you played at BC Place, British Columbia Place. Yeah,
Yeah, an unbelievable stadium. Honestly, it was.
yeah. It looks like the Emirates or something. It's very red, isn't it? Like Arsenal Stadium. But
Yeah, and it had the big, the sort of American sports big
yeah,
screens hanging down from the top, which made it quite awkward when you wanted to check the scoreboard. You had to sort of walk far enough back to look up and see the scoreboard on it. But yeah, a phenomenal stadium. I think they've got is the Football World Cup there next year. I think
yeah,
something like that.
yeah. I was
They're
about to say that.
using that one for that. So yeah, a great experience, and something that I've never done is play on a 4G pitch. Actually allow you to play in trainers as well. I'm obviously not a bowler. So you could just field in your running shoes, which was actually quite nice for a change.
I used to quite like your bowling.
Yeah, think the batters liked it as much as you did as well. I think I lost it towards the end.
You test wickets.
Yeah, two test wickets, one international, one ODI, one T20. Probably the best pub quiz question of who's got a wicket, which men's cricketer's got a wicket and 100 in all formats. So put that down for a good quiz.
Very good. Yeah, I mean it's up there with occasional leg spin with sort of Mike Atherton and
Yeah. Do you know what? It's actually one of the biggest regrets of my career is that I didn't continue working on my spin. I sort of gave it up. I can't remember when it was, maybe 2013 or 14, 15. I can't remember. Somewhere around there, I stopped bowling less because I realised that I was bowling for an hour in the net sessions because you could bowl, but only batting for half an hour. And I sort of flipped it around and went, well, actually, I'll put another hour into my batting instead. And I sort of gave up on the bowling, which actually, in hindsight, was a big mistake. If you can sort of guarantee yourself an over or two in every T20 team, especially as a leg spinner, that's such an asset for a captain and for a team. So in hindsight, I probably should have kept on with that and probably might have been more successful, adding that into franchise leagues.
you got your 2 test wickets in your final test at Adelaide.
Yeah, not the final one, but my the third test of the series. I played all 5, but yeah, got them there. I think it was Arness and Jai Richardson, 2 beautiful balls, court cow corner. I think they both were slogging, trying to set up a declaration. But yeah, always nice to get a wicket. And Marnus was the number 1 in the world at the time, so I'll take that one.
Yeah, I was looking at your best bowling list. Sorry, I wasn't looking at a chronological. Yeah, so very good. Okay, so that was 10 over. So Canada Super 60, 10 over, like the West Indies 60, playing for White Rock Warriors, and you had Chris Lynn, Joe Clark, Jordan Thompson, Peter Siddle. So some familiar faces.
Yeah, good bunch. It's amazing these tournaments how and I think that's the beauty of the tournaments. Well, not only do you go and see different countries and different parts of the world that you've never been to, but you actually get to rub shoulders with players that you've played against, that you've watched and admired innings and spells and things that you've had, or you play county cricket against them and you've never got a chance to rub shoulders with them. So you're actually able to spend a time in the changing room with them. You're able to spend some time off the field with them, having coffees it's amazing how different a lot of people are in real life than what they are when you play against them. And
White line fever.
say again.
The white line fever, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing when you go on the field, especially when you play international cricket in your country. People sort of, it means so much to them as it should do, and people put everything on the line, and then you go and sit and have a coffee with them, and they're totally different to what you thought they'd be. But yeah, we had a good bunch. Darren Goff was the coach as well, which I'm obviously very familiar with Goffy. So yeah, we had a good bunch, and a lot of English players were there as well. Vincey, Jason Roy, Hales. So a lot of guys that I've spent a lot of time with and spent a lot of cricket with, and you get to see them in a different place too.
Very good. So that came off the back of the 100 Northern Superchargers. They're about to change their name to Superchargers Leeds, aren't they?
I have no idea what they changed it into. Sunrises or something like that. Northern Sunrises, maybe something like that. I've heard. I don't.
Right. Okay. Right. Right. How did that go? Did you enjoy it this year? I think it was a little bit of a breakthrough year, wasn't it? Actually, I think it seemed to gain a bit of traction this year.
Yeah, honestly, it's a brilliant tournament. I know it gets its negativity from a lot of people watching the game because they feel like it's taken away from the 50 over cricket, and it's a bit different to the 100, and people don't feel you need an extra tournament. But honestly, it's one of the best tournaments I've ever played in. It's the way it's run. The cricket is incredibly strong. Considering we've got 18 counties and you put all those players into 8 teams and you have international players available a lot of the times, it's an unbelievable tournament. The strength is so good. Obviously, less balls means you have to be more aggressive, and you're trying to hit the best bowlers from earlier when you're under pressure. So it's a different challenge. It's something that I've really enjoyed. Actually, it's something it's been different to what you're used to, and we as players, we like to do different things. We like to try different things from a playing point of view, and being at home for the first time in the 100 as well was good. Playing under Brookie and Freddie Flintoff was absolutely brilliant. Both of them very similar characters in the way they run the team and the way they see the game. Very simple, not a lot of meetings, not a lot of overthinking, and just try to get the best out of all the players. So that was, really good to see as well. And that goes back to the point that I said earlier. You get to rub shoulders with different people that you never seen. I remember watching Freddie Flintoff bowling in that 2005 Ashes when I was still at school, and then suddenly he's coaching you. And I know I've played against him a little bit in my career when I was younger, but you then get to spend time with him and see what he's like as a bloke, and it's actually a great experience getting to meet people that you'd I don't know, sometimes it's not, but to people that you've looked up to and seen and been fantastic. And especially someone like Freddie, he's so humble with where he's been in his life and everything. And you don't see superstars like that being humble as often as what I came across Freddie. So yeah, it was a brilliant experience as always.
Cool. Are you contracted to go back there next year, or?
Oh, I'll go anywhere, to be honest. I obviously love to play that. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, to be fair, I've enjoyed everywhere I've played in the 100. It's sort of been a bit of a merry-go-round. I've played for 3 teams now. So, look, it's a great tournament. And yes, I'd like to stay at the Sunrisers, whatever they're going to get called next year, and get another opportunity, whether you get picked up or not with an auction basis. Who knows? Obviously, you want to set your price as a certain price or what have you. So who knows what happens with that? But, it's a great tournament, and I'd love to play in that tournament for as long as I possibly can.
Cool. And what about Yorkshire? How are things going there now?
Yeah, good. Obviously, change again. There's third coaching staff and director of cricket and things. So it's more change, and with change, there's always betting in. But look, there's a good group of players, good group of young players that are there. There's some extremely talented players coming through. And now that the financial situation's hopefully sorted with the sale of the 100 and all that sort of thing, hopefully over the next year or two they can start building towards where they want to go and getting the squad that they want to get, and the direction they want to go in. Because it's a great place to play cricket. It's somewhere that I've really enjoyed. It's it was been the best move that I made in my career. It helped me out massively with all the coaching staff that we've had there in the past. They've all been extremely good, helpful. The brand of cricket they want to play, the training methods, everything has been really good and something that I've really cherished. So it's going to get to where it needs to be very soon, I think.
The Cricketers' award-winning team brings our subscribers news, features and insight on county and international cricket every single day. You can try us now by signing up for £1. Yes, you heard that correctly, just £1 at thecricketer.com/digital.
Yorkshire stayed up in the end. It was all quite tight, wasn't it? You played in the Championship as well, didn't you, this season? Is that something I probably should have looked that up actually? Sorry, did you say you've given up Red Bull now, or are you carrying on?
I'm not 100% sure.
Yes, yes.
I've
Okay.
given it up. I gave it up. I've got to
Yeah,
be
you
honest.
gave it up, didn't you? Yeah, and then came
Yeah,
back.
so I guess the reason I gave it up was I found it incredibly tricky when I was still playing international cricket, to be able to have the time around that, because international cricket generally you play in the winter, plus you have the odd franchise tournament that you play in the winter. If you were to go on three or four white ball tours, there was a World Cup every year leading up to that. In the winters. So to be able to play in World Cups, play in warm-up games, play in all the things that were coming up, plus the odd franchise cricket that you need to do in the winter, there was just not enough time for me being home, especially having a young family. So, something had to give, and it was either white ball cricket in the winter, which is something that I really enjoyed, or it was the red ball cricket. So unfortunately, I had to give up the red ball cricket from that point of view. This time, this year round, I actually had a couple of months off. I had 3 or 4 months off after my winter commitments. And speaking to Mags and Gav at Yorkshire, I sort of said I'd be willing to come back and play some 4-day cricket and make myself available, especially for the first 7 games. I think it was 5 or 6 games I'd made myself available for, and then sort of take it from there and see where we ended up in the year. And obviously once the T20 Blast starts, it gets a lot more congested with that. Plus, I was in the 100 as well, so then it once again it makes it incredibly tough, and it's not easy as well for the team when you've got I guess when you've got someone like a Brookie and a Ruti that might pop in for 1 game or 5 games, but when you have someone that's sort of saying I'm not going to be available for these 2 weeks or I'm going to be available for that week, it makes it tough from the planning as well from overseas and what have you. So the last part of the season, obviously that was taken out of my hands in the sense that I torn my groin during the 100. So it wasn't really available in the last couple of months. But yeah, look, 4-day cricket is something I enjoyed. It's not something I'm overly seeking at the moment. I've got to be honest. I'm getting a bit older, and my body hurts a little bit more, and I want to spend more time at home. Maybe if the schedule was easier and there was a bit less 4-day cricket, and maybe if it was played during the week more than over weekends when you can actually see your kids fully for the couple of days. It would make it quite easy, but or make it easier to play because generally your kids are at school during the week and at nursery or what have you. So you want the time on the weekends to be able to spend with them, which funny enough, white ball cricket allows you to do because generally, unless you're playing an away game, you generally play an evening game and you can see your kids for the first couple of hours in the day. But 4-day cricket is very time consuming, and yeah, as I go back to that, something had to give for me at the time, and that was 4-day cricket.
Well, I think you were 37 last summer, and that we're grateful that you did play some red ball cricket. I think, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually did enjoy it. I actually enjoy playing the cricket. I obviously don't enjoy the fielding as much as what I used to. Well, I don't think I ever enjoyed the fielding, but I did enjoy the batting part of it, and I enjoyed the challenge of it. And I guess over the last couple of years, when you're just playing T20 cricket, you don't actually have time to learn about batting again and do your basics as much, and be able to spend time in the middle and enjoy the sort of the battles. When you play white ball cricket, something gets a little bit tough, you take the easy option, you have a slog, it goes for six, so you get out and you go, oh, that's the way I play, and I was, trying to take the positive option. Whereas 4-day cricket, you actually have to find a way of getting through a tricky situation, and it's not just about you, it's about, the knock-on effect it has for the rest. If you can get to that spell, then it makes it easier for other people, and you take the game deeper and what have you. So it was really nice going back to that. I'd obviously played a lot of 50 over cricket leading up to when I'd retired from the 50 over, from the 4-day stuff. So I still had that bit of challenge, but once that was gone as well, and you're back in the 100 and you're not playing 50 over cricket, that was exciting for me to try that. But once again, it's just so time consuming because it's 5 days a week with training, and then you have an optional training, and if you're not hitting them as well, you try and get another day in, so you're looking at 6 days. So yeah, it's still good, and I still enjoy it, but yeah, we'll see how and when that happens again, if it does.
Who caused you most problems last summer, David, with the red ball?
Oh, who caused me lots of problems? You know what? My last innings, actually, we played on a Turner well, it turned a lot of rough for the left-handers, and Liam Patterson-White was bowling really quickly into the rough. And it's actually something I spoke to John Sadler about afterwards. Is when you play 4-day cricket regularly, you play on used wickets and you face spin coming out of footholds, and it's a different way you're playing. When you're playing white ball cricket, if the odd one turns, it's fine because you can just have a sweep or reverse sweep. You're not worried about bat pads and sort of you just get outside the line and you sort of take out all the dismissals. But when you're actually can't just kick it away and you're actually having to play and score and build an innings, that I found that quite challenging because it's something I hadn't done for 2 or 3 years of actually facing someone bowling into the rough. Because white ball cricket, you take the easy option, you just slog it, you just have a dip, and you take it on, and people generally bowl different lines. So yeah, that was I found that bit of a challenge, and played one of the worst shots ever as well to get out in my last first class innings, which I'll remember. If that is my last one, I'll remember that. And a couple of Yorkshire boys keep reminding me of that. Finley Bean keeps reminding me of that every time we speak about it. But yeah, look, it was still. I guess he was pretty tricky. There were some spicy wickets earlier on. Where else did we play that was pretty spicy? We played down at Southampton the first game. Abbott bowled really well, a really good spell there. He's obviously a fantastic bowler. So yeah, there's a lot of bowlers that have asked a lot of questions. So yeah, it was good.
Okay, cool. So just reviewing your England career, played 22 tests. But going back to that 2017-18 Ashes test match 100 at Perth. I mean, that's quite a thing to have on your CV, isn't it? I mean, not the easiest place to play, is it? And the attack was Stark, Cummings, Hazelwood, Lyon. So nothing much changes really, does it?
Yeah, and I think without blowing my trumpet, I think it was at the time the highest recorded pace by the 3 guys. Ever recorded. It was some weird stat like that. But yeah, it was honestly playing in the Ashes. Leading up to that, I hadn't actually started my Test career well. Didn't finish it well either, and didn't have a good middle bit either at some stages. But leading up to that, when after I'd had my first couple of tests, that sort of anxiety of whether you're going to get picked for the Ashes, getting the call to say you're going, unbelievable. You're going to play in an Ashes series, something that I'd never dreamt of. I never dreamt of playing Test cricket for England. Well, I obviously had, but I never thought I would get the opportunity to play Test cricket for England. And then suddenly you're playing an Ashes Test 5 or 6 games in. And obviously it was a pretty tough start to that series, but to then go and get 100 at Perth, it was a dream come true. My parents were there. They landed the day before the morning of the game. I can't remember, and they came and watched. So to do it in front of them was great as well. And yeah, it's everyone talks about whether your dreams come true and stuff. That was a dream come true moment when you're playing against Australia at arguably at the time one of the quickest wickets in the world, or the quickest wicket in the world, against a pace attack that had been so good and will go down as one of the best that have ever played. To go and score 100 there, dream come true.
Yeah, and he got a 50 in the second innings actually as well. So
I got strangled down the leg side there as well, so that was annoying. Could have got in a bit more, but yeah, it was still a good experience. And funny enough, the playing in that series, the noticeable thing about it was how good the wickets were. The wickets were really good. They were bouncy. They didn't feel fast. They just felt quite bouncy, and they felt like if you made a mistake, you were out. Which is, that's what you want. You want that to be. It's tough cricket. If you nicked it, if you played one you shouldn't have played, you were out. It always carried. So that was good about the series. And the difference between the series after was that the wickets felt like they were doing all sorts. They felt like they were a little bit up and down. They were doing quite a lot laterally, which suddenly it doesn't become like you're making a decision, you're getting a wrong decision, as in you're pushing at one you shouldn't have. It felt like you had to play all the time because there was so much movement, which makes Australia tough when you sort of can't leave the ball as well as you can. And I guess that was probably one of our things. We probably weren't as attacking as we could have been, and we didn't leave as well as we could have as well at times. But yeah, Australia's still a great place to bat.
Yeah. If you had to pick one of the famous 4 bowlers to bowl for your life, who would it be?
I would say Pat Cummins by country mile. All 3 of them are obviously phenomenal and unbelievable bowlers. But I guess when you play against them, you always remember the ones that you found the hardest.
Yeah.
All three of them have got me out for fun, so that's not disrespectful to the other ones. But I felt like every time I faced Cummins, I felt like, geez, I'm in here. Like I feel like he's gonna nick me off, or he's gonna hit me on the head, or he's gonna bowl me an absolute jaffa. Whereas the other guys, Stark, you feel like you could score. Hazelwood, you felt like you could leave quite a lot. He didn't really hit the stumps as much. So LBWs and bowls were sort of out of it. It was whether you could leave him well. And whereas Cummins, you felt like he bowled that length where he could sort of hit your knee roll, nick you off. He had a weird angle to the lefty, so you felt like you had to play it quite a lot. And he bowled bumper every over, so you felt like you were waiting for that one to come. You didn't know when it was going to come, and then he felt like he was testing you on the outside edge, and he keeps coming as well. He's not one of those where his pace goes down for one spell. You just felt like he was the same, and every time he ran in, you were like, "Geez, this is going to be a challenge again, and I need to get through this little 4 or 5 over spell." But they're all different in their own ways. Hazelwood's slightly slower through the air, but gets a hell of a lot more bounce. Cummins quick through the air, but like skiddy, and Stark obviously bowls absolute seeds when he gets it seaming. But he always tests the stumps with the odd short ball. So it does. Yeah, they all complement each other. But I'd say Cummins by far if I was to pick someone.
So listening to that sounds like it's quite a good thing for England that he's not around then. Even more of a good thing than we thought. That he's not around that first test.
Yeah, I think it helps England. He's obviously been unbelievable, as have all of them. They've all been phenomenal.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, we say that Cummins missed one in the last Test series. I think with a COVID. I think he had a COVID sort of scare or whatever you want to call it, or ban or whatever you want, because he was in a restaurant and someone positive. There's something stupid like that back at it. But so he didn't play in one of them, and I think Hazelwood only played one innings in the whole Test series, and Stark might have rested one of them somewhere. I think I can't remember if he did or if he played all 5. But so I think that would probably be the most disappointing thing for us in the last series, was that you had Cummins missing for 1, Hazelwood missing for 4, but they still found a way to get bowlers. And I know Jai Richardson isn't fit, or he might be fit, but I don't know if he's in selection. And they had Nessa as well, who bowled really well with the pink ball at the time. So they sort of fell. I think we as a team were probably disappointed that, considering they didn't have their big 3 fully available for the whole series, and we weren't as good. I think that was probably the most disappointing thing. Although Scott Boland came in and absolutely cleaned us up, so maybe we should have hoped that the rest played a bit more.
How just finally on this subject, how do you think it's going to go this winter?
I actually think it's going to be closer than. I actually think it's going to be close. I think England have done exceptionally well over the last 2 or 3 years to build the team and build the squad, and have got everyone fit that they wanted. So it's not going to be a series where they're rocking up going, "Oh, we wished we had Woody and Jofra Archer, and we wish we had Tongue and Cast and whoever else is there." They've actually got everyone that they wanted to go get on that plane, and I think that's a massive start. Stokes is fit; he's bowling well again. I think he's a massive asset. You look at the last one; he had a side strain in the last 2 tests and didn't bowl. So the series before he wasn't available. So I know it's not on one man, but I think if you look, all the cards are felt in the right place for England. You look at Australia; they're probably where England were before, in the sense they're not sure about their batting lineup. They've got Cam Green, who hasn't bowled for a while. Do they go with more all-rounders? Do they go with no spinner? Cummins not fit. So they've got a few more questions, and England feel a lot more settled this year, this Ashes series, than they have over the last couple, where you're sort of going, who's actually going to play? And if someone gets injured, who's coming in? Who's going to bat here and who's going to bat where? So I actually think England have got a very good chance. Perth, I know it sounds really basic, but whoever starts the first test well, and I think if England hit them really hard, whether they win that test or not, I think how they go about it is going to set the tone for the rest. I don't think the wickets are going to be as flat. I think they're going to be quite spicy, because if I was playing against England, I'd produce as spicy wickets as I can and take away their strengths of Bazball, whatever you want to call it, where they're really aggressive. So if I was Australia, I'd be doing that. But also that would play into England's hands with the way Australia's batting lineup has been.
Oh, some good insight there, David. Thank you very much. So finally, looking back on your England record, non-test, 30 ODIs, average 55, strike rate 97. That's excellent. and T20 62 matches, average 36, strike rate 132. You were number one in the world for a while, weren't you? Do you any regrets on your England white ball days, or were you happy with that record?
Any regrets? I was a little bit disappointed with my last sort of year in the T20 stuff. It's sort of like my 50 over cricket went through the roof. You know, with the way I was batting, I think I was batting as well as I'd ever played towards the end when I finished white T20 cricket. You know, a bit of factor, lost form at the wrong time, or not form, just couldn't get going at some points. We had a tour in Bangladesh towards the end where the wickets were tricky, so couldn't get going there as well. So I think in hindsight, how I started and how I finished, I was a bit annoyed with about that, because I was better than that towards the end, because I was still playing good cricket, and still batting exceptionally well in the 50 over cricket. But regrets, yeah, look, I would love to have played more 50 over cricket. The opportunities just weren't there with how good England were at the time. Jason Roy, Bairstow, and Ruti in that top three, when they were playing as well as they were, it was incredibly difficult to get in that. And Hales was back up as well for the first half, until obviously he finished with England, and he sort of lost his place. And you know, when you're back up to that and you're just waiting constantly for an opportunity, that's obviously a bit tricky. And you're waiting, but like, I thought I took the opportunities when I did at all times in the white ball career. I don't think if I'd had one or two more bad games earlier on, I would have played as many as I did. So yeah, I'm incredibly proud of that. Yeah, as I said, I'd love to have played another 30 or 40, 50 over cricket. So and I've gone on record saying this. I've always thought 50 over cricket's been my strongest format. Just never got the opportunity to do it because of how good England were at the time.
Lovely. Well, that's brilliant. That's very kind of you to give me all that time, David.
No worries at all.
You're off to always nice to talk to you. You're off the school run now in a minute, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got the school run. The kids want to do something after nursery, so I need to go and work out what I'm going to do that's open at 4 o'clock or 3:30. Pick them up. So yeah, I'll go and take them somewhere nice.
Soft play.
Yeah,
Bit of
I
soft.
think it's too late for soft play because the youngest one just falls asleep. So in the
Oh,
car
right.
back, I'm never in the good books when they fall asleep at 5 o'clock at night. So I'll try and work out something close, and it might even be just go and kick a football around the field to keep them busy.
Feed the ducks.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a good one.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much indeed for talking to me. I appreciate
No
it. And
worries
have
at all.
a good time in Nepal.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Speak soon. Cheers, Huw.